Shakahola and Kwabinzaro are not separate horrors, but one and the same. Same forest, same creed, same path to death. Towards the right of the border rider is the Shakahola forest, and that is where the first tragedy struck. In fact, let's begin there and see how it looks like 2 years on. At the Shakahola site, the homesteads still stand. Structures like this one, which occupants used to dry their utensils, still strong, just like their faith was. It would appear that the people who moved into this forest had no intention of dying soon, at least not by their own acts. They developed their houses for permanent survival, and they loved innovations like this bed. They didn't use earthly things. Maybe that is why they did not eventually fix the sockets. Outside, the empty graves remind you of the horror that was Shakahola. This is what remains of the tragedy that shocked the world 2 years ago. Empty grave sites where hundreds of Mackenzie's followers were buried after starving themselves to death. The world as they knew it was coming to an end. That was 2 years ago. Now, this time around, there are fresh graves, new victims, and still no answers. What was called the forest of death is once again under investigation, and the cries of families looking for their loved ones are growing louder every day, only that this time around is towards that further end of the Shakahola forest. And while there are those who argue that this is Shakahola and that is Kwabinzaro, there are those who know a thing or two, and they say there's basically no difference between the victims whose bodies are being exhumed now and those whose bodies continue to lie at the Malindi mortuary. So what does this mean for a country, for a government that promised that this is a situation that will never again happen? From above, Shakahola still looks like a forest in mourning. The houses stand hollow and abandoned, their mud walls bearing witness to secrets too dark to speak. The earth is torn open, red soil scattered over graves that were never meant to be found. Paths carved by bulldozers snake into the thicket. Roads that did not exist until death forced them open. At the edge of it all, a small police post clings on, but no matter the height, no matter the distance, the truth is unavoidable. The stench of death still hangs heavy here, and disbelief, thick and shaken, hovers over Shakahola like a shadow that refuses to lift. As we arrive at the Kwabinzaro site, we encounter the retired Anglican Bishop of